Hey dividend investors, today I'm going to talk to you about Apple. Is Apple a good investment? For one, obviously for the future, is it good? But also as a dividend play, will it work in our portfolios? Well, let's get down and let's check this out. So as a dividend play, there is potential because it does pay a dividend, but it's not a very large dividend. However, their CEO has come out and said that they would like to raise that dividend. How much? Who knows? But they are doing really well when it comes to the financials and the earnings, but we're going to get to that just a bit later. Next is going to be the price it's at right now. Now, as of making this video, it is February 26th, and it is currently well off of its 52-week high. So it could be a great long-term investment. Let's check out the volume. Is the volume good? Well, the volume, if we're looking for a long-term investment, doesn't necessarily matter, but at the same time, if you want to get in and out fairly quickly, you would want that volume to be really high, and that is very high. It's 107.5 million shares traded every single day. And the dividend is paid every quarter. Now, is the dividend safe? I'm going to say right now that it is. For one, obviously their CEO, he wants to raise the dividend. So whenever that happens, usually it's going to be safe. Number two, obviously they have a boatload of cash and they really don't know what to do with it. They're investing it obviously back into their own company, but you can only invest so much before it just gets crazy because, of course, they've got billions and billions and billions of dollars in cash. When it comes to analysts, their one-year price target is $151, which is around $30, higher than what it is right now, which would be about a 25% increase into the next year. So that alone is very good with a dividend of potentially 0.75% once they raise it or higher. Now we're looking into a pretty good company to invest in. Now, something that I do look at Apple with is, of course, it has had a massive run. It's had a couple of pullbacks here and there, and whenever there's a pullback, it's a good time to invest in a company. Usually, not always, but usually. Now, something that I do want to focus on is, of course, this line, this increase, and it's been going for a while. As we can see, it's started recently, really in 2014. However, if we start moving back the clock, we can see that this increase line, percentage-wise, has been about the same ever since around, let's keep on going until it stops. And this increase has been going and going and going ever since, amazingly, 2004. So this increase line has literally been going forever in at least recent modern history over the last 17 or so years. And any time a company has been growing massively when it comes to their stock, I always want to look at their history and see if they've really been increasing the same percentage a little bit while ago and see, of course, if it's been continuing. Hasn't been having massive growth over the last 2 months and 2 months only, or has it been going for 15 plus years? And we've been seeing that with Apple. Every time there's a little bit of a pullback, you could buy in and continue on. Just think, what I spent on college back in 2010-ish, 2009, 2010, what I spent on college, I would be able to basically buy any house in Canada because I would have well over $10 million in my pocket. And I still remember saying to myself in high school, hey, why spend the money in college? Of course, I saved up my money when I was in high school and in school to pay for college, but I kept on saying I shouldn't waste my money in college. I should just invest it for 10 years and let it sit. And now I'm 30 and I look back and say, damn it, I should have listened to my younger self. Now, I don't mean that for everybody, but that's just a small little story about myself that kind of might make you laugh a little bit. The next thing I really want to focus on is their earnings and how have their earnings been doing. And as we can see here, they have had 4 out of their last 4, all with great earnings. They have beat analyst estimates every single time. Sometimes 2 out of the 4 were a bit closer, but we have been fighting with the coronavirus pandemic, and that has been wreaking havoc on the entire world. But for tech stocks, they've been doing extremely well. And we can see that with their yearly earnings as well. 2020 was a very good year. They have made more revenue than ever before in a single year, and their earnings are a lot higher than 2019, and they just have not been able to touch 2018 numbers just as of yet. So is Apple a good investment right now? Personally, I would say it is. They're paying a dividend, which is something they never did when I was in school. And they are also still earning a ton of money. I don't see that changing anytime soon. They are starting to be like Google, where they're kind of experimenting into future technologies like glasses. They're experimenting with artificial intelligence. They're experimenting with AR. These are all future technologies. When are these going to come out? We really don't know. There are also rumors of cars, so that just means that they would be probably getting other companies to make their car, maybe a BMW or a Hyundai. I think the last one I heard of was Hyundai or Honda or something, which is kind of interesting. You would think a luxury cell phone brand, if they're making a car, would go with a BMW or Mercedes, but they're not, which is kind of interesting to me. Now, that's not going to turn out the same as Tesla. Tesla is a different story because they are doing solar panels and batteries, and that's also the future of what's going on, at least with the world. But these are my thoughts. I personally think that Apple's a great investment. 10, 12 years ago, and as well as today. Anyways, I hope that this video has been helpful to you. Of course, never listen to a random guy on the internet like myself. Always do your own research and talk to professionals, and I'll see you guys again next time. I hope that this video has kind of helped you out at least a little bit.